Hello, welcome to an Easy Yoga Flow series, and this is geared to help you understand the mobility that is available in your body and how you feel about moving each body part. So, I welcome you to be curious about each movement and do it slowly and mindfully. So, please come over to your mat, and I want you to keep a yoga block close by if you have one. Otherwise, you can always have a thick book or a dictionary which can substitute for a yoga block. And we are going to meet in a comfortable seat. I am sitting on my heels, but you're welcome to sit crisscross or in any other way that feels comfortable to you. So with your hands on your thighs, your legs, take a couple of breaths to get in tune with your body. Feel the breath come in and the movement of your chest or your belly as you exhale. Couple more times. Deep inhale. Notice the chest move up, the belly rise, and as you exhale, feel everything soften. Then slowly come onto your hands and knees in a tabletop position. Keep your hands shoulder width distance apart and your knees hip width distance apart. And then just start to round like a cat. And then slowly inhale into a cow pose. And we're going to do this a couple of times, well, more than a couple of times. And every time you round, try to find the flexion that is available in your spine. Slow inhale, notice the opening in your chest. Round, make sure your neck is nice and soft. Lift your chest and feel the arch in your lower back. Last time for me, round, round, round. Maybe you come onto your fingertips, really lift your pubis and move it forward. And then plant your hands and come into a gentle cow pose. Awesome. And then extend your right leg straight back behind you, tuck your toes, and really push with your heel to feel the stretch through your calf muscle. And then slowly float that right leg up, bend at your right knee, and then straighten it again and plant it down to the floor. And so let's do this movement one more time. Floating that right leg up, feeling the active thigh muscles here, and then bending at that right knee, and then straightening that leg back and bringing that right foot down onto the floor. Bring your right knee back next to your left, and let's do the same thing with your left leg. Straight, nice, long left leg. Lift and float that left leg up. Bend at your left knee. Straighten it out again. And then plant that left foot down. One more time. Lift that left leg up. Bend at your left knee. Feel your thigh work. Straighten that left leg out. And plant that left foot down. Bring both knees back in tabletop, hip width distance apart. You're going to float that left arm straight forward and then bring it down. Extend your right leg straight back and then bring it down. Second side, right arm straight forward, bring it down. Left arm, left leg straight back and bring it down. So you notice we are doing opposite hand and opposite leg in succession. Left arm straight forward, like you're going to shake somebody's hand, lift out of that right shoulder, bring it down. Right leg straight back, push through your right heel and bring that right knee down. Right arm straight forward along with the long back of your neck, bring it down. Left leg straight back, as parallel to the floor as you can get it, and bring it down. Come down into a child's pose. Maybe you prefer a puppy pose, whatever your body is calling out for, and take a couple of breaths. Inhaling, And exhaling. Awesome. Slowly come back into your tabletop, and I welcome you to take a block and put it right on top of your lower to mid back. And you can do this even without a block, but it just gives you a better perspective. And what we are going to do is rock forward and back and try not to let the block fall off. So as you rock forward, notice how your lower back wants to arch more, and try to keep it neutral as possible. And pull back, and notice your lower back now wants to round more, and try not to round it too much. Couple times. Forward, notice the flexion in your wrists, and back. Good. Last time. Forward and back. Awesome. Come back to neutral. You can let that block go. And now you're going to extend your right leg, bend the knee, and bring it all the way forward. Come and stand on your left knee and right foot. Find your hips pointing straight to the front. And then do a couple of rocking forward and back motions to get familiarized and acquainted with the way your hip wants to move. Last one for me here. Rocking forward and back. And then bring your hands behind your head and open up your elbow points to really lift through your chest. Take an inhale, slightly lifting your chest as if I'm trying to gaze forward where the wall is meeting the ceiling. And then round and hollow out that belly like we did for a cat pose. One more time. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. And notice if this is hard for you to balance here while you're doing the arching and flexing of your spine. You're going to keep your right hand dangling down by your right hip, left arm up and over, and then find a gentle side bend to your right. Feel the opening through your left side body. As you inhale, feel the left ribs open up. Take a deep breath. And exhale, slowly come on back. Bring your left hand down, both hands inside. And now I'm going to walk so that I'm going to face the camera and my right leg is going to extend sideways. So this is a typical gate pose stance. That's where I want you to meet me. Right leg extended and I'm standing on my left knee. And notice how your right hip feels when you're in this stance. Maybe you feel a little stretch in your right hip flexor or your IT band. Allow your right hand to be on your right leg. Lift your left arm up and come into this traditional gate pose. Look down so that your neck doesn't tense up. Look at your right hand. Feel the left side body lengthen again. Come back to neutral and then bring your left hand down, not exactly in line with your right knee, but a little staggered. Extend your right arm up and notice how the span of my right hand to my left hand helps me understand the opening of my chest. So I want to lift my right arm as much as possible and come out of my left hip as well. Slowly bring your right hand down and come and turn to the back of your mat. We meet again on hands and knees. Maybe you do a cat and cow, slow and easy, or you come into a child's pose or a puppy pose. Take one deep breath and slowly come on back. We do all of that on the second side. So you're going to extend your left leg straight back, bend the knee, pull it in. Come on, balancing on your right knee and your left leg. Notice how your hips are pointing straight forward. And do this rocking motion in your hip to understand the motion that's available, the mobility that's available in your hip. And maybe you are a little wiggly. The balance is a little dicey. Can you be okay with that? Awesome. And then bringing your hands back behind you. You're going to do this slight flexion like a cat in your spine and lifting up and opening up of your upper chest. And again, rounding in your spine and lifting and opening. Awesome. Last time, round, round. Point your elbows down, pull your chin in and open. Awesome. Come back to neutral. Allow your left hand to dangle and lift your right arm up and side bend to your left, feeling the opening this time in your right side body. One breath. And slowly coming back. Allow your right hand to come down. Bring both hands inside of your left foot. And then walk your hands so that now we meet with our left leg nice and long. Coming up, coming into this gate pose on the second side. Left hand on your left leg, right arm straight up. And again, slight side bend to your left. Planting, rooting down through that left leg. Deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Awesome. And slowly come on back. This time, meet me with both hands and both knees down. I'm going to face the camera. You're welcome to come to your regular mat. And you're going to take your right leg back out to the side. So that's how we did the first gate pose, and this is where you're going to meet me. Your hands are again in front of your left knee, and you're going to open your right hand out to the right. And notice this opening in a different way, a different kind of a twist in your torso while your right leg is nice and long and right foot is rooted. Deep breath here. Inhale, exhale. As if you're going to thread the needle, your right arm is going to go underneath your left armpit, but not all the way down to the floor. So keep it lifted and a little lift in your left shoulder. Turn to your left if that's available to you. Slowly open that right arm again, lift out of your left shoulder and coming back under, thread the needle, feeling the length in your right leg and this rotation in your chest. One last time. This is the third time. Inhale, lift and exhale, rotate. Awesome. Bringing that right hand down, bringing your right knee back, and let's do the second side. Left leg out. So the gate pose stands on the second side. Notice if this left hip wants to lift. Just what and how your body feels here. One way of feeling the hip is not wrong. It just is very individual. So being aware of how your hips feel. Both hands down. And now you're going to open up onto the left side, lifting that left arm, turning your gaze over to the ceiling maybe. And then slowly closing and bringing that left hand underneath your right armpit. Looking maybe over to the right. One more time. Lift and open out of that right shoulder. Slowly closing that stance, bringing your shoulders parallel to the floor and then a little twist over to the right. Last time. Lift up out of that right shoulder and slowly bringing it in and under. Awesome. Bring your hands down, bring your knees down. And if you're away from your mat, you can come back to a tabletop on your mat. One more time, a nice rounding, a cat pose. And then a slow lift in your chest, a cow pose. Come to neutral. Center your right knee and then extend your right leg. I meant center your left knee and then extend your right leg back behind you. Float that right leg up, bend at that right knee and pull the knee in and then plant it slowly in front of you. We meet again here in this low lunge, hands on your hips, and see if you are okay to find a twist to your right. So this is a twist along with my right leg in front of me. And I feel this nice stretch through my left front of the hip. And then you're going to imagine there is a block or there is an object down to the right side. And then you're going to round your spine to approach that object as if you're going to becoming ready to lift that object. So you're rounding your spine. Come low as you can. Reach with your hands. And then gently uncurl your spine to come back up and slowly untwist. Let's do it one more time. So this is a twist to the right, reaching my arms down towards the floor. I'm going to start rounding my spine and come down towards the floor as if reaching for an object to lift up. Come as low as you possibly can. And then gently imagine you're lifting an object up carefully. And then untwist your spine. Awesome. Bring your hands on your hips. Bring your knee down. So we are coming into this traditional camel pose stance. Maybe here you're okay to tuck your toes. Maybe you're open to interlacing your fingers back behind you. And you're going to lift your chest. Deep breath here. And exhale, round your spine as if you're pulling your shoulder blades together and tucking your chin in. Inhale, lift. And exhale, round. Awesome. Undo that clasp. Come back onto your hands and knees. You're going to center your right knee now and extend through your left leg. Float that left leg up. Bend at that left knee. Bring that knee in and plant that foot forward. You're going to come onto your right knee and left hand. And this time you're going to turn to your left. So both hands over to the left side. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to try to, after the twist, round your spine as if you're trying to lift an object from the floor. See how far you can reach. And with control and balance, you're going to lift that pretend object up. And then come and untwist your spine and your hips face back to the front. So you untwist your shoulders. One more time. Twist over to the left. Round your spine. Imagine you're grasping at an object. Pick that pretend object up. Uncurl your spine. And then untwist your shoulders back to the front. Coming back on your knees, both knees down, both hands down. Widen your knees if that's something you're in habit of doing for a nice gentle child's pose. Taking a deep breath here, inhale, and a slow exhale. One more breath, inhale, and a slow exhale. Awesome. Coming back onto your hands and knees. And this time you're going to center your left knee and see if you can pull that right knee in. And then cross that right knee on top of your left knee. So we are coming into this Gomukhasana or a cow face pose stance for the legs. Slowly and gently walk your hands back and sit down in between your feet. If that's not available for you, you're welcome to use a block so that you can sit here, right, with a cow face stance of the legs. So in my practice, I am used to sitting down in between my feet, and so here I am. Wiggle, especially that right hip point down into the floor. Notice it wants to lift up, it tends to lift up, and think about the inhale lifting your spine nice and tall. You're going to bring your right hand down onto the floor or on a block. Inhale your left hand up and come into this gentle side bend. Deep breath. Turn your gaze to look at your right hand. Inhale here. And exhale, slowly bring that left hand down also on the right side. And maybe you can walk your hands forward and come into this gentle twist and a kind of stretch for your mid to lower back, and I actually also feel a stretch in my outer left hip. So see where and how you feeling this pose. Taking a deep breath here. Inhale. Exhale, slowly walk your hands back if they're extended and come up, straighten your spine and untwist. Now with your right leg on top, you're going to lift your left arm up as if you're carrying an object in your left palm, and then pat yourself on your upper back like you're patting yourself for a job well done. Try to lift this left elbow up. Maybe your right hand helps you do that. Keep lifting that left elbow up and think about length in your left lower arm, upper arm, and your left side rib. Maybe you keep your right hand here holding on to that left elbow, or taking that right hand behind and under you, you try to clasp the fingers. Now, this bind is not the end all pose. What is more important is you try to take that right hand behind you and work on pointing that right elbow towards the floor. So some people clasp on to a yoga strap. Some people like to just hold on to their t-shirt. So wherever you are at, you want to pay attention to the kind of mobility that is allowed in your shoulders at this moment. So notice what your right shoulder is doing and what your left shoulder is doing. And taking a deep breath here. Inhale and exhale. So many times people get caught up into just trying to somehow muscle into this bind of binding their fingers back behind them and not really paying attention to what and how the shoulder joints are feeling. So I welcome you to do that at this present moment. Maybe you're comfortable just staying right here, or if you want to feel a little more, you find a hip hinge forward. Still trying to lift those elbows back and behind you in the air. One more deep breath. And exhale. Slowly coming back up. Gently undo that left arm first. Left arm straight up and out to the side. And then your right arm undo. Undo it, shake it out, any kind of wiggle and jiggle. You're going to rock forward and undo this cross of your right leg. Come back on your hands and knees. Let's find a cat and cow one more time and notice how your body is feeling here now that you've done some kind of movement. Take a deep, easy inhale. One more time, rounding. And slowly coming into your cow stretch. Awesome. This time you're going to do the opposite side. So center your right knee, pull that left knee in, cross that left knee on top of your right knee, wiggle. And then slowly and mindfully coming down either on a block or sitting down in between your feet. And try to pay attention to how your body is feeling when you do this pose on the other side. Both sides of our bodies, left and right hip, are not necessarily equal. So they're not created equal at all. And so maybe on this side, because of an injury or whatever is going on in your body, maybe this is all you are able to do. And maybe you have to sit here and just feel and allow your body to sink into this kind of crossing of the legs. So really meeting your body wherever it is at this present moment. Allowing your left hand to reach down to the floor, right hand straight up to the ceiling. Slow and steady, side bend to the left. Deep breath here. And then slowly bringing that right hand as well on the left side. Again, if your hands are not touching the floor, maybe you take a block or just twist and stay right here so you don't have to bend forward. If you are with me and bending forward, then maybe you go ahead and extend your arms and feel this twist and an extension. How does it feel? Where do you feel this stretch? Taking a deep breath. Inhale. And slow exhale. And then walk your hands back and come back facing the front. Now with your left leg on top, we're going to take and pat ourselves on the back. So the way we started on the first side is imagining that you're lifting something with your right palm so that you can go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Maybe your left hand this time helps you to turn that shoulder inwards and lift the elbow point up towards the ceiling. Maybe this is all you want to do and this is where you stay. Or if it's available to you, extend that left hand and take it behind you. Maybe you grasp your fingers and do the bind, or grasp your t-shirt, or just try to take your left hand behind you right here. So just again, trying to meet your body where it is at this moment, not judging it and trying to expect something else that is not present at this moment. Deep breath, trying to move that right elbow point up towards the ceiling, left elbow point down. Lift up towards your spine. Maybe you stay here, maybe you hinge forward. Again, a deep, easy inhale. Slow, easy exhale. And slowly coming back. Undo your right arm first, very slow and open, and bring it down, and then your left hand. Slowly rock forward, back on your hands, undo the cross of your knees. Maybe you take your hips side to side and notice how are you feeling in your legs, in your hips after this hip opening kind of an exercise. And now I offer you a gentle downward facing dog. So let it be something that you are able to do easily in your body. So maybe you need a chair to hold on to and lift your legs, and that's your downward dog, and that's perfectly fine. If you're used to this traditional kind of a downward dog, then extend your arms forward and lift your hips up and back. Try to lengthen through your side body and allow your neck to be easy and not tensed up. Allow your jaw to be easy. Maybe you pedal your knees. Remember to push the floor away, and at the same time, what if you think about pulling the floor towards you? Deep breath, turning the heels slightly away from each other, more like trying to make the pinky edges of your feet parallel to the side edges of the mat. And again, a deep breath in and a slow exhale. Gently bringing those knees back down to the floor and coming into a gentle child's pose. As you take a couple more breaths in your child's pose, notice how your body is feeling. Notice what kind of flavor or emotion is coming up as you have gone through these movements in this easy yoga flow practice. I welcome you to stay in your child's pose, or maybe come sit up again. And this time I am going to take a block in between my heels and find a seat. You can stay crisscross or come and sit on the block like I am. And while we're sitting down here, maybe you're okay to close your eyes. So you're here, you're present, you're breathing. Notice your breath. Maybe it's still shallow, maybe it's getting deeper. Maybe you're not able to really put your finger on how your breath feels, and that's all okay. And one more deep breath in and out. And to end today's class, I welcome you to come lying down on the mat. So I'm going to bring my feet forward and then bending at your knees, slowly lower your spine down onto the floor. Let's start with a gentle number 4 with your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Really push away that right thigh with your hand, or just really using the muscles of your leg, or you can get hold of a block and try to push that block gently. It's a gentle kind of a pressure into that thigh to feel the opening in your right hip, outer hip area. Deep breath. And then slowly start to move your hips over to the right side and then turn to your left. Open your right arm sideways and then see where your right knee is landing. Maybe it comes very close to the floor, maybe it touches the floor, or maybe it's really way high up. All of that is fine. Can you truly bring your right shoulder down to the floor though? So it's an opening in your upper chest and shoulders while your lower body, your hips are twisting. And so wherever you are, stay present, feel the twist through your left side body. One more inhale and then exhale. Then slowly undo, feel your lower back place against the mat again one more time. And then this time you're going to separate your knees and still keep the knees starting to fall towards the left. So wide stance with your feet and your knees fall over to the left. So here there is a word of caution to not your lower back arch too much. So pull it slightly down towards the floor, and in my body what I feel is the front of my right thigh stretching out. So where do you feel this? Is this something that you were able to come into and enjoy? And if it's not something that your body feels comfortable with, please come out of it immediately. And so slowly undo this twist, come back onto your lower back. And let's do the number 4 on the other side. So now my left ankle stacks on top of my right thigh, opening up, pushing that left knee out. Maybe you take a block and really push that left knee away, left thigh away. Feel the opening in that left hip. Take a couple of breaths here. And then take that block away and start to move your hips over to the left a little and then come into this lying down twist. Again, if your knee is not coming all the way to the floor, you're welcome to bring a block to support your left knee or a rolled up blanket. And if it is coming all the way down to the floor, notice what's happening with your left shoulder. So in my body, when I try to bring my left knee down all the way down to the floor, my left shoulder tends to lift up. And I would rather bring the left shoulder down and feel this opening in my shoulders than try to muscle my way into bringing the knee down. And just a perspective of how to feel this lying down twist. Taking a deep breath in and slow exhale. And slowly untwist, unwind. And now that left knee goes back behind. So again, we meet in this wide stance of this legs. And then still one more time, turning those knees over to the right. But now my left knee is behind my right knee. And what I feel is an opening in my left hip flexor. So be cautious about how your lower back feels here. Try to pull away from arching your lower back too much. And just explore how your body feels here. Again, a deep breath in and out. And slowly undo, untwist. Come back to center. Before we end the class, I welcome you to a gentle inversion. So Take a block or a rolled up blanket, whatever is handy. Lift your hips up and bring the block underneath your tailbone. So it's not underneath my lower back, but more underneath my tailbone. And then lift your right leg straight up. And maybe this is where you want to start. So just keeping your right leg straight up, and I will, if you're doing one leg at a time, I'll cue you to do the second leg. Or you're welcome to do both legs together. And once you're here, don't try to overdo the stretching of your hamstring. If they are not able to stretch all the way out, allow your knees to bend a little. This is completely fine. So really meet your body where it is. See how your legs are feeling. Maybe you try to investigate, explore how you feel when you push through your heels, and then try to point your toes like a ballerina and see the opening that's available through the front of your shin. One more time, flex and push through your heel, and really point through your feet. And try the Barbie feet. It's the talk in the town these days, the Barbie movie. So try Barbie feet. Barbie has this weird kind of shoes, heels, wherein you push your balls of your feet towards the ceiling, but try to pull your toes towards your face and see how that feels like. And then again, coming back and pushing through your heels. And now, separate your feet a little, and I welcome you to rotate in your ankles. And this is where I cue you to maybe switch your legs. So if you are just doing one leg, maybe try to switch it now and move your left leg up to the ceiling and right leg down. Or you're here with me and you're exploring how you feel when you rotate your ankles. Now imagine you're swiping with your feet. So swipe to the right with both feet. Imagine there is a smartphone stuck on the ceiling, and then you swipe to the left. So how does this motion feel in your ankles? Right and left and right and left. And as you keep your feet up like this, it's been a couple of minutes now. See how that fatigue is coming into your feet. And if you really need to bring your feet down, please allow yourself to do that. Otherwise, I am going to keep it here for another 30 seconds. And you choose to point your feet or flex your feet, or maybe you come into this variation where you bring your soles of your feet together and open your knees wide. This is another place you can stay in. You're also welcome to do this pose by the wall. So your heels and the backs of your legs are supported against a wall. So there are all kinds of variations available for you in your body to feel this exactly how it needs to be felt. One more deep breath. And slowly bend your knees, pull them in, bring your feet down. Gently lift your hips up and move the block out of the way. Maybe you stay here with wide feet and knees knocked together, and this is a good place to rest for Shavasana. Maybe you like to extend your legs, and this is a good place for you. And this is where I leave you today in your rest pose, Shavasana. Allow your mind to settle down. If lying down is not something that's easily available for you, excuse me, maybe you want to sit up comfortably and find a meditative posture for your Shavasana, for your final resting pose. So again, do whatever feels right in your body, but allow your body to rest and digest all the movements that we just did. Pay attention to your breath. Maybe bring a easy, comfortable image in front of your eyes. Anything that soothes your mind. And while I take your permission to leave you here, please continue with your Shavasana. Please stay here for a few more minutes. Until next time, Namaste.